AFTV, Frank, bruv, we hit him for 6, man. What are you smelling right now?
Let's talk about 6, baby.
I love that. Man, it was unbelievable performance. I mean, to get into half-time and that scoreline, I don't think anyone could quite believe it. We turned up today and West Ham didn't.
Literally could not have asked for more from this Arsenal team today. I'm immensely proud and immensely just full of pride for this Arsenal team from today. Not one person out of line. Everyone, in my opinion, is in contention for that man of the match award, with maybe the exception of Raya, because he didn't have to do anything all game. But listen...
Amazing, isn't it? The feeling is incredible.
And you know what? This game has a lot of sentimental meaning to me, as I've said on the watch-alongs and stuff like that. I've got a lot of family. I was born in East London. A lot of family that are West Ham. Never before, after a game, has my phone been so quiet. Obviously, after the last 2 games where they beat us, I've had missed calls from my granddads, missed calls from my cousins. They've just been on me. So to get this today, and especially in the manner that we've done it as well, one of our biggest Premier League wins ever, it's just absolutely fantastic.
Listen, it was a great reaction from, let's be real, some disappointing games against West Ham in the Carabao Cup and obviously at the Emirates. But today, that's how to do the business, you know. And Declan Rice, he deserves a mention. I wanted to talk to you about his performance, Frank.
100%, not just a mention. For me, he's 100% man of the match. Okay. You know, I think there's a lot of people in contention. Like I said, I think Bukayo Saka, I want to bring up especially because to have 100 goal involvements for a single club by the age of 22 in 210 appearances. Some people try to tell me this man isn't of a world-class level, and I'm not going to say kid anymore. I'm not going to say star boy, star man. Bukayo Saka, he's a man. He's become a man over this last season. People have been saying he's not having a fantastic season, but you know, you look at the numbers. I think that's 13 goals, 13 assists or something like that. 26 goal involvements, and it's not even March yet. There's still more to come.
Apparently, he's having a bad season, Frank.
Apparently, he's having a bad season. You know what? I've been guilty at times of saying he's not in fantastic form.
So
but listen, when you putting up numbers like that, you cannot argue it all. No, it's not all the time that stats lie. So people say stats don't lie, blah, blah, blah. And this is a prime example of stats not lying. Bukayo Saka's numbers are unreal and of world-class ability. But back to the guy I was speaking about, you know, he was getting pelters all game. Obviously, I had the benefit of commentary being on the information station. And every single time he touched the ball, boos rang all round. Every single time he took a corner, boos. The second he got that assist, he shut everyone up in that stadium. It was absolutely fantastic. After he got that assist, some of the boos went on to Bukayo Saka for whatever reason. But I'm just so glad that Declan Rice was able to shut him up, because I think one thing that the West Ham fans have lacked since he left the club is respect. You were talking about one of their best players in their history, the man that captained them to a European trophy for the first time in, 50 odd years, or a trophy for the first time in 50 years. And I feel like the boos that he's been getting from these West Ham fans have been completely unwarranted. But he showed up today, 2 assists, a fantastic goal as well for me, 100% the best of the 6. And he really did silence them today. So 100% my man of the match.
Yeah, listen, I can't disagree with what you're saying there about the players. It's hard to pick a man of the match today. But one thing I will say, Frank, sometimes when you score that many goals, you're looking at our attacking play and you're thinking, wow, it's been incredible. But what I thought was elite mentality today was the reaction to keeping a clean sheet, because it's so important moving forward. You know, it would have actually not ruined it, but kind of conceding would have been like, wow, not deserved at all. Hardly any touches in our opposition box. What does that tell you about this side right now, particularly at the back?
No, 100%. And I think the moment that you're referring to in the situation was, I think it was towards the end of the game where David Raya makes the save, and then everyone gets around him and praises him for keeping the clean sheet. David Raya has looked fantastic over the last few games, I must say as well. You know, he went through a bit of a rough patch, and obviously people were calling for Aaron Ramsdale to start in net. That's another clean sheet for him today, another fantastic performance. Again, didn't really have to do much, but with what he had to do, done it perfectly. So, you know, you can't complain in that sense. And the thing that I'm liking from this Arsenal team, and I've said it multiple times before, the way we was playing last season, we nearly won the league. So, in my opinion, if it's not broken, you don't fix it, okay? But what happened was we've gone with a slightly different tactic leading up to this point in the season, maybe over the last 2 games. And I believe that's because we started to burn out towards the end of the season. Now, I think we're getting something in terms of the tactical setup, in terms of, you know, the level of attacking ability, the energy that's on display, and the resilience, and just they're ruthless up top at the moment. And if we can just keep this up, you know, people were saying a few games ago that we're out of the race, which I never believed personally, but I genuinely believe if we can keep this up, this mentality and this attacking work rate from this Arsenal side, we're going to be right in it till the end of the season, 100%.
Last question, man. Listen, I've got to ask you this. This last 2 games have been very different in terms of opposition. but what sort of a message does this send to opposition fans that Arsenal have managed to beat Liverpool at the Emirates fairly convincingly and absolutely wipe the floor of West Ham away?
Oh, it sends a big message, to be honest, Dan. I'll be honest with you. You know, the Liverpool one was probably the biggest shock of the bunch. You know, we've seen it over the last few years. We're not really expected to beat Liverpool, even if it's at home. You know, they've been to the Emirates sometimes. We saw it earlier in the season. They come here and beat us 2-0 unexpectedly. We've held 3s and 4s against them at the Emirates before. So to get that result against Liverpool was a big statement for me, especially knowing that they're in contention for the Premier League as well. So to beat, you know, we've beat City this season, we beat Liverpool this season, and then all of a sudden we've beat a team that we've seemed to have struggled against over the last 2 years in West Ham. And I really do think it sends a big message to these other clubs that have, you know, almost ruled us out of this title race, that we're not going anywhere, we're still in it, and we're coming for that Premier League title.
Big up, Frank.